what time it is. It's time to grab your popcorn, grab your best beverage. It's time to relax your ears. Wrestling season has returned, baby. Ooh, yeah. That's right. And it's time for your main event. Coming down the aisle, we have the one, Bobby Wrestles. And he is accompanied by the beautiful Mia Moore. This is the main event. Welcome to the All About Wrestling podcast.
Yo. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Okay, do you hear me now? Do you hear me now? We got sound. We got sound. EW1, no sound? Do we have sound? Daniel Pinson, what's going on? All right. Live from Philadelphia, folks. Bobby Wrestles here, the All About Wrestling podcast. All right, let's go. Let's see. I'm going to check the queue because we might have a guest. We do not have a guest yet. All right. I don't see a guest in the queue. All right. I did email the link out. Let me make sure I sent the right link for everyone to stream in. Just give me a second here. Hopefully you don't see what's on my screen. I'm doing a lot here. All right. I'm looking here. I sent the wrong link. That's the issue. So, LA Wrestle Chick, stand by. I'm going to resend the link. All right. I'm going to resend this. Boom. All right, it's coming real quick. Bam. All right, LA Wrestle Chick, you got the link. Just sent it to you. All right. Folks, we got a lot to talk about. We definitely got a lot to talk about. But first, this show is sponsored by All right, do you hear me? Somebody said the sound was out again. All right, folks, real quick, let's go over some wrestling online. All right, please, for all of your wrestling content, your news, your information, your source for wrestling, go to wrestling-online.com and make sure you check it out. All right. First, Double or Nothing. All right, on track to be the least attended of the series. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. AEW struggling with fan attendance. Within 1 month to go, AEW's next pay-per-view, Double or Nothing, is tracking to be the least attended of the series so far. According to the latest figures released by WrestleTix, AEW has distributed just over 5,500 tickets so far for the show, with the MGM Grand Garden Arena currently set for just 7,000 seats, folks. 7,000 seats. That's sad. Typical wrestling setup at the MGM Grand Garden can sit up to 12,000 people. Last year's Double or Nothing had 10,500 at the nearby T-Mobile Arena. Despite the low attendance so far, AEW has surpassed the last time they were there on May 24th of last year, where around 4,500 saw Dynamite before Double or Nothing 2023. All right, so tickets start from $31.25, including all fees, and are available now at AXS.com. All right. Moving on along. All right, so SmackDown. I'm pretty sure you saw SmackDown this Friday. They had the draft, a lot of moves, a lot of shifting around, right? One thing that we didn't see was CM Punk showed up, all right? This happened when SmackDown went off the air, all right? He was there. He was there at SmackDown Friday. Did not appear on camera. However, he did show up after the broadcast, ended its live broadcast on Fox. Punk said he felt compelled to come out and say hi to all his fellow friends in Cincinnati. On behalf of everyone backstage, he thanked the fans for the packed house. The former champion also provided a little update on his injury, saying his tricep is not at 100% yet, but he's on track, and I promise soon, he says, I'll be back and competing with all the tough badasses backstage, Punk said to a big cheer from the crowd. Lastly, all right, there's been 3 more matches added to Backlash. The premium live event for next weekend in Lyon, France. The tag team of Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair will get a shot at the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships as they face the Kabuki Warriors. Bayley will defend her WWE Women's title against Tiffany Stratton and Naomi in a triple threat match. And Solo Sikoa and Tama Tonga of the Bloodline battle Kevin Owens and Randy Orton. These 3 matches join Cody Rhodes versus AJ Styles for the undisputed WWE Championship, and Damian Priest versus Jey Uso for the World Heavyweight Championship. Backlash will have a special start time of, get this, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time next Saturday. All right, so there you have it. This is the Wrestling Online Report, folks. All right, so how we feeling? How you guys doing in the chat? All right. Yes, EW1, it's terrible. It's terrible. Smaller than average college venue. See, Henry, hopefully they don't blame Swerve for the attendance. That would be terrible. That would be terrible. Let me check out the queue. All right, LA Wrestle Chick, you are in the queue. You are in the queue. All right, just giving you the heads up. You might want to see if you can rotate your device horizontally so we can see you pop up completely. All right. All right, folks. Yeah, we do have our special guest. Nah, yeah, it doesn't work that way. See if we can bring you in here. There we go. There we go. All right, let's see. Oh, you're out. You're out and about. How you doing?
I am fine. How are you doing?
Pretty good. Pretty good. Good to have you. Good to see you, folks. Folks, on the screen, we have LA Wrestle Chick. She's out and about on the West Coast. All right, doing the most.
The West Coast, the Best Coast, the Left Coast. And I'm in the middle of Whole Foods.
Oh, wow. She's grubbing, folks. She's grubbing. All right, so we have our special guest here. Could you please give us an update on what's going on the West Coast right now?
In the West Coast right now, we are experiencing so much wrestling right Hey everybody, I hope you. Now I will say I am getting feedback in the echo, but we can work. We can work with it. Can you hear me calling out your name? 'Cause I got lots of updates happening here on the West Coast. Lots of updates here on the West Coast. We are slammed with wrestling. This weekend alone, there is about 7 matches that happened starting from Thursday all the way till now. We had AFA on Thursday, Alliance for All, and you had to wear pink. So, of course, I had my pink hair, being festive for everybody. Now, Friday, we had 3 matches, all back to back in all different parts of the state. I mean, excuse me, Los Angeles. You had, see, I got my notes here. Now, Friday, we had Winners Circle Pro. They had the most banging match there. They just did their women's gauntlet, so now they have a new females champion. Her name is Delilah Doom. I think she's known out there on the East Coast, Delilah Doom. She was on Wow as a Gloria Glitter, but she's a long time, what we call a long time wrestler, a hometown hero, because she also teaches at Santa. Ooh, no, this feedback is just really working me here. Santino Brothers. Santino's Brothers is a very well known dojo here. They've been pumping out lots of wrestlers here. So she's a teacher there, but she just won the female championship for them. Also, we had Lil Cholo. Lil Cholo had his volume 2 outlet for his his. Oh, this is the feedback. We're gonna work through it though, here though. But he has an academy himself. Now, Lil Cholo has been wrestling for 25 years, and he's still active. They just celebrated that, last year though. Last night, I was at Relentless Pro. The heavyweight champion vacated, didn't show up, so they had a gauntlet there between Inferno, Abdul, and Slice Boogie. Now, Slice Boogie is originally from Brooklyn, New York, and he was in the New York promotion that's always on YouTube, MLW. He was on there for a short while, but now he's here on the West Coast cutting up. He's got 3 championships out here with 3 different promotions, so he's not doing too shabby. Right now, people do a lot of exposition. I mean, I kept getting this word wrong. Exhibition. I can't say it. But we had a lowrider show featured at the convention center. They have wrestlers there, and at the farmers market in downtown LA, they had another exhibition show today. So wrestler is very popular, especially lucha libre is extremely popular here. Mexico has like 3 or 4 shows happening right now. So if you got your papers right, you can definitely head south of the border and see some more wrestling if you're just not you have your full. So we're full of wrestling here. And that's just in LA County. You gotta go into San Diego County, you got Las Vegas.
Hold on 1 second. Let me try to fix your sound. I think there's a bit of an echo. Go ahead.
So I know that I had already been told that WrestleMania is going to be in Las Vegas next year.
Okay.
That's just going to be crazy, crazy, crazy. Because there's only 4 hours in between Los Angeles to Las Vegas. And even when we had it here in Los Angeles, people were jumping back and forth, taking flights, going back by bus. So, I mean, definitely, it's going to be almost like a twin city having the WrestleMania here, but then you're going to have Indie independent circuit is just going to be blowing up big time.
Right. That's awesome. That's a lot of information and a lot going on the West Coast, folks.
Always. It's always like this, though. Now, just a few announcements I just want to get through here. If you know Santana Jackson, he does an excellent Michael Jackson impersonation wrestling. He just got engaged to his girlfriend and he put everything up on his IG. I can't think of a better place to get engaged at than Hogwarts. It's so cute.
That's funny.
Now, Royal Hawaiian, she was back in the Glow days. If you remember the old Glow, she used to wrestle. She comes around from time to time. She just turned 61.
Wow.
She's real beautiful. Now, just a few more things. Necro Butcher, Damien 666, and Kota Hero. They all three have good, GoFundMe accounts.
Okay.
And I would ask you that these people put themselves on the line all the time, and they don't have insurance. They don't come from rich families. So basically, they're depending on your donations to help them with everything. Probably the worst of it all would be Necro Butcher, because he's stuck in Japan with a shattered hip.
Right.
So he's still looking. He has 6 kids. He still has to take care of them. He cannot come back to the United States till that hip is healed up to a certain degree. And still he has to pay for the medical bills out there. Jamie and Sex said about a month and a half ago had a heart attack.
Mm.
He is a old school wrestler, Mexican wrestler on the more hardcore side. He's just now started putting up videos and pictures of himself. So he's alive, he's well. But again, they don't have insurance.
Right.
And they're just depending on your donations. And I would ask people if you can find a way to please give them a little something, something. I'll have the information up on my IG site.
Where can people find your IG page?
On Instagram, LA_WrestleChat.
Okay. Okay, awesome. And a question for you from EW1. Which West Coast city or cities have the biggest indie wrestling scene?
Los Angeles.
LA.
Los Angeles, LA.
There you have it, folks.
I mean, you could have, there's stuff happening in San Diego.
Mm-hmm.
And we got stuff happening in Oakland, San Francisco, Modesto. It happens there too, but LA's got the best, LA's got the largest. We are the biggest supporters.
Awesome, awesome. Grandma Daisy is here. Grandma Daisy, how you been? She says San Jose as well. Is it San Jose?
San Jose? San Jose? Yes.
Awesome, awesome. Can you hear her, folks? She also says Sacramento. Can you hear LA Wrestle Chick, folks in the chat? All right, so before you go, please, 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 again, share with us your candy, where to find it, where to get it, any deals, the good stuff, folks. Please, please share with the viewers. Share with the viewers. Come on, come on.
Okay, definitely. Website, nutricrunchcandy.com. You can order all of it from there. $10 off your first, 10% off your first order. Tell me that you heard me here, and we might work something out a little bit more.
You hear that, folks? Folks, mention to her you saw her here, right? And then she'll work something out for you, okay? LA Wrestle Chick, please come back. You come back weekly if you like. We're glad to have you. Thanks for stopping in.
I'm working on that. There's so much wrestling that's happening here. Yes, I can start doing that. We'll talk. I'll have my people call your people.
Okay. Cool beans. Cool beans. Good seeing you.
Cool beans. Bye-bye.
Can you hear me? All right, folks. That was LA Wrestle Chicks. LA Wrestle Chick. All right, folks. I want to try something out. All right, we had some technical difficulties, but let's see if this works. All right. Grandma Daisy, such a pleasure having you back. All right. Here's what I want you to do. In that little message, in that little chat box, you see a bunch of little random different emojis. If you can, type a few of those into the message bar and hit enter. I want to see if this works. See if something happens. All right, let's try this out. Look at that. Look at that. A little bit of special effects going on here. Okay, so knock yourself out. You can play with those. A little bit of emoji stuff. It's called an emote wall. All right, so it works. All right, yes, Grandma Daisy, glad to have you back. You did win a contest, and then you disappeared, so we owe you a T-shirt. All right, so moving on along, folks. Mandy Rose Snubbed. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts? All right. Now, recently, all right, there was a wrestler on NXT, and I'm not pointing anybody out. All right. They spoke about the legacy of the women's championship in NXT. All right. They mentioned several people, but they failed to mention Mandy Rose. Why? All right. From my knowledge, Mandy Rose is the third longest reigning NXT women's champion in history. Can anybody in the chat tell me who the longest reigning women's champion in the NXT history is? All right. Let's see if you get it. 522 days. Longest reigning NXT women's champion in history. Who is it? All right. Mandy Rose is 3. She's third. Yes, Asuka. So Asuka, number 1 at 522 days. All right, number 2, 416 days. Second longest reigning women's NXT champion, okay? Should be no surprise here because she was being pressed and pushed heavy And then her main roster call up was kind of lackluster. All right. But NXT, dominant. All right. So we got Asuka, longest reigning NXT Women's Champion. Yes, Mr. Spades. Shayna Baszler. Okay. 413 days. Mandy Rose was the NXT Women's Champion. No mention of her. She was snubbed. Why was she snubbed? Okay. She did allude to this on social media. All right. That, you know, she believed that WWE did not want to give any attention to her, didn't want to pull away from the fan base. Right. But why? This has never been an issue before. Never. And I do know that sometimes when people aren't with the company anymore, they won't mention them. But when it comes to championship reigns, you still do, because we can all remember recently in recent history where they talk about the longest reigning undisputed WWE Universal Champions, and it's that big long laundry list, right, of people. But it's kind of crazy. Oh, much love from Ravishing Ricky Ramone. What's going on? Is this Ricky Ramone, or is this Gianna Forever? Is it you? Is it you, Ricky Ramone? Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, so it's very, very interesting. C. Henry says, your message didn't pop up. Let me see here. It says, makes you wonder, did some higher up want to get with Mandy? How about that? Gianna Forever, that's my tag name. Oh, okay. Okay, all right. I did not know that. Okay, so that's a good question. That's a good point. We do remember when Mandy Rose got released, what it was for. It was for, okay, she's posting X-rated content or close to X-rated content on third-party sites, right? And she was never brought back. The rumor mill had stated that Shawn Michaels was the one that pulled the trigger. So with respect to your comment, C. Henry, with someone perhaps wanting to get with Mandy, do we think, is it safe to say that potentially Shawn may have tried to get with her? Is he upset? He's not want to give her any credit? I don't know. But it's something to think about. What's the issue here? Is the issue here that when she left, she ended up making so much more than what she was getting paid as a champion in NXT? Another thing to think about. What is the problem here? Interesting fact. Do you know that Mandy Rose has a rose tattoo on her lip? I didn't know that. I've never seen it, but I just learned this today. Where is it? Is it under her makeup, perhaps, or on the inside? Okay, Ravishing Ricky Ramone says, dedication to my daughter who passed away 2 years ago. I'm so sorry to hear that. I'm so sorry to hear that. Well, that's very honorable, sir. Very, very honorable. And I cannot imagine going through something like that. I really, really can't. Really, really can't. See, Henry says her content wasn't as bad as the others. I agree. Gianna Forever, Ravishing Ricky Ramone. Also, what's crazy about this is that the PG era is said to be over, and they're going to be more adult product. Yes. I think Shawn tried to rap to her, and she turned his old ass down. Mr. Spade says Mandy will cook in this new WWE. Maybe she can come back by Rumble next year. Honestly, I don't see her wanting back in wrestling with the money she's going. Yeah, and after this snub, this would just leave a very bad taste in my mouth. I mean, let's be clear. She did attract a specific type of viewer with Toxic Attraction. All right, let's be honest. Let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. So, in many aspects, I would say that she made a major contribution to NXT, to the product, right? Some people say that she couldn't wrestle. I disagree. I thought she was a great wrestler, so much so that she carried her partners most of the time. Always was in shape. From what I understand, her history, she was a fitness model. She does have a background in dance, but she's snubbed. Will that be corrected? Do you think at some point they're going to not snub her? Now, we all know, when social media monster or the social media machine, they get upset about something and they start calling for action. Sometimes we see that. See, Henry, you are absolutely correct. Her last run, she has improved by leaps and bounds. Absolutely. Great acting, great mic skills, great wrestling, great look for the company. And yes, Ravishing Rookie Ramon says, I would have Mandy come back and make a new stable with Tiffany Stratton, Chelsea Green, and Maxine Dupree. That would be something crazy. That would be amazing. Do you think they'll pull a trigger on that? No, only because I think there's just too many elements. You got to move a lot, especially with the draft, people in different places. Can it happen? Yes. Should it happen? Maybe. That would be awesome to see that. All right. I do. We have a great exclusive t-shirt for channel members in May 2024. Diamonds are forever. Okay, the volume just disappeared. I don't know if you guys can hear that or not. But that's what we're dealing with, folks. All right, so for a limited time, uh-oh. Hello. Can you hear me now? Nothing. Testing 1 2 1 2. Oh, you can't hear me. Folks, I don't know what's going on. I really don't. Testing 1 2 1 2. Can you hear me now? Testing 1 2 1 2. I think that's a bad video. I really do. All right, so look, we changed the parameters of our channel membership. All right, so we're listening to the viewers. Okay, so now for only $4.99, you can become a channel member to the All About Wrestling podcast. Okay, so whatever month you join, you get that shirt. So for the month of May, we have a Tessa Blanchard t-shirt. Okay, you'll get members only live streams and loyalty badges and custom emojis. Okay, how do you become a member? You just click join on our YouTube channel. All right, right at the bottom underneath the viewers of the screen, you just hit join. Okay, and then you select True Contender channel membership. Okay, let us know you did. Okay, you can email us allaboutwrestlingnow@gmail.com. And then we'll get your shirt size and send you your shirt. Okay? All right, cool beans, folks. So I want to get your thoughts. I want to get your thoughts about this. Tony Khan in a neck brace. All right, he pops up NFL draft. NFL draft. He's there. He's got on his neck brace. He's sitting there. What do you think? Is this appropriate? All right, or is it not appropriate? Is it best for business or is it not good for business? What are your thoughts? So I did put a poll out and we got a lot of responses. Okay. Everybody said it's appropriate, and I agree. All right, because it's kayfabe. It's kayfabe. He should have been in the neck brace. Some people were upset. They were saying, "Oh, he had on a neck brace. He was moving his head too well." Right? You give people an inch, they're gonna take a mile. He held on a neck brace, but he's moving it too much in the neck brace. All right, so he doesn't know how to sell a neck brace, but he wore it. He had it on, folks. Give him a little bit of credit here, and we know he's choking on his own rope. We give him so much rope to choke himself. But however, he's sitting there. Now, of course, the moment was spoiled. The moment was spoiled with regard to his comments. Ricky Ramone says AEW is so lame now. Yes. So apparently, see, Henry says, do you think people are giving Tony a fair chance? I hate to say it, but Tony Khan will never have a fair chance. He won't. Because there are just people, there are just fans in the wrestling community, in the wrestling world, that just don't get it. And this is across the board, okay? Not just about AEW, but across the board. When you ask a question and they have this complete left field, out of the world response, and it just doesn't make sense. But this is what people perceive. This is their perceptions, all right? So will Tony Khan ever get a fair chance? I don't think so. I really don't. And of course, he's new. He's trying to compete with a conglomerate, with a juggernaut, and then he doesn't stand a chance, all right? Ricky Ramone says, yes, I remember looking forward to Dynamite and a different product. Not this. It's just like Hollywood when they remake movies now, or is trying to remake WWE, and it's sad. It is pretty sad. It's sad. We have, and I'll repeat what people say all the time, we have a fan booking wrestling. There's so much talent and experience, right? And you have to listen to them. You have to listen to them when it comes to booking, when it comes to, making matches, when it comes to storylines. It is a different product than it was. When it first came out, there was so much more wrestling and there was so much less nonsense, right? And I'm being objective because that's what I remember and that's what I saw. It's really, really sad. It is. It really is. So, Tony Khan, of course. People like Eric Disco Inferno and Bully Ray go too hard on Tony. They do. But when you're in that dynamic, anything goes. Anything goes. He's a celebrity. And when you're a celebrity or a public figure, as big as Tony Khan is, everything's fair game. Whatever comments, whatever shade, all of that. The only answer, the only response that you have is to do great, do better. Okay? So that's the situation. That's the situation. Mr. Spades, if he allowed others that are smarter than him to book the shows and handle creative, he wouldn't be a laughingstock. But he won't. And I agree. You have to take your pride and your ego and push it to the side. You have a product. You're a businessman. When you want to win, you have to make the best decisions. Ricky Ramone. Nobody's going hard on him. Pause, no Diddy. But yes, it's just the honest truth. And nowadays, people are too sensitive. See, Henry, respectfully speaking, Eric has failed on 3 different occasions. He has. And Eric's the biggest hater. He's the biggest of them all. He's the biggest troll. He has negative things to say about everything. Everything. Nothing positive. Right? So that's why I don't listen to him. Who else don't I listen to? There's somebody else that is just negative all the time. Jim Cornette. I don't listen to him. Like, listen to people that are fair and objective, right? You know, where you don't know what they're going to say. But these people, you predict them to just come off and just be negative and just say negative things all the time. And the fact that people just, they love it and they watch this stuff all the time, it's absurd. But this just goes to show. It's the same thing with wrestling. You have wrestling fans that don't really understand good wrestling. I had, and I didn't really want to give any attention to this, but I had somebody commenting on one of the comments that I made about the tag team championships, and they got upset. They got upset because I had said, you know, with respect to these designs, legendary teams have had these designs, and if you don't know these teams are, then you know, you just don't know anything, or you don't if you don't know the story behind the design, then you don't know who these teams were. And he got upset and was like, you shouldn't down talk people and this and this and that. I'm like, I'm not down talking people. I'm talking facts here. Cornette is awesome. Bone breaking action. What's going on? Yes, the tag titles look great. Yes, they do. Somebody made a comment on one of the videos that I posted. They said that the Raw tag team title, and I agree, the Raw tag titles look like, or the World tag team titles look like pizzas, and they do. But I like the WWE tag team titles, which AKA the SmackDown titles. Amazing. It takes me back to older days. Ricky Ramone says he listens to Vince Russo, who's another Eric Bischoff, pretty much, in my opinion. Yeah, they're all negative. Why? Maybe it's because they know how to get the views, right? Perhaps they're smart businessmen. All right, folks. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about this. Federal government issues a ban on the non-compete clauses. All right. Federal Trade Commission. No more non-compete clauses. Okay. All right. So I'm going to clear up a lot. All right. Tonight. Because everyone's saying, oh, all wrestling. No. The Federal Trade Commission, corporations that have to comply with the Federal Trade Commission are corporations that have gone public, corporations that have stock, right? That sell stock publicly, right? Where we can go in and buy stock. WWE, UFC, who are both part of TKO, all right? They're considered a public company because they've gone public. AEW has not gone public. They're not, you cannot buy stock from AEW. It's still a private company. Okay? Correct me if I'm wrong. What this means is WWE has to comply with the Federal Trade Commission with regard to non-compete clauses. So, if, for example, CM Punk gets cut, let's say he does something crazy that we don't like, or that the bosses or the powers that be do not like in WWE, well, guess what? Since the Federal Trade Commission, they approved that there's going to be no more non-compete clauses, right? They have to comply. WWE, they would release Punk, and then the next day, all right, so if they release him on SmackDown, then the next day, CM Punk can appear on Collision. That's what we're talking about here. Okay? So the fact that AEW doesn't have to follow this, they can still have non-compete clauses because they do not comply with the Federal Trade Commission. Now, WWE and other public companies, they can fight this, right? Am I correct, folks? If I'm wrong, please, please, please correct me. So he can still have non-compete clauses when you release people, and then WWE would have to wait for whatever term. Now, another, I guess, mistaken fact is that when wrestlers get cut, that they're just sitting around and not collecting. No. With respect to non-compete clauses, prior to this being passed, when wrestlers had non-compete clauses, they were still on the payroll, but they were on the payroll as an independent contractor. Okay, so perhaps they weren't getting their full, the full monies that that they were, I guess, owed within their contract, but they were still getting paid something. All right, Mick, what's going on? C. Henry makes a good point. AEW hasn't had a history of non-compete clauses like WWE. Yes, they just let people go. Interesting. But of course, WWE, okay, they protected their investments. They protected their assets, if you will, right? And they had this. Makes us wonder, because this is just wrestling, but this has been an issue across the board when it comes to these corporations. Okay, so this is no longer an issue. No longer an issue. All right, so now I asked you guys, okay, well, I asked you guys, is this best for business? Is it unfair, or it doesn't matter? Everyone said it's best for business. Everyone that voted feels as though non-compete clauses, they're not good. All right. So yes, this whole act, this approval, the banning of non-competes, best for business. All right. So, of course, the Federal Trade Commission issued a final rule to promote competition. So they're doing this to promote competition by banning non-competes nationwide, protecting the fundamental freedom of workers to change jobs, increasing innovation, and fostering new business formation. I like how they said that. All right. Increasing innovation and fostering new business formation. So what that means is companies now have to be creative to perhaps get people. This does not, however, mean that we can poach. All right. There's still protections in place, from what I understand. If you're a traded company, you have protections against people poaching your employers, right? Private companies might not have those same protections. Okay, I think they could still fight it in court if they have the documentation and the information to show that there was poaching taking place. All right. If I'm wrong, please correct me. Ricky Ramon, I don't know. Probably not too long. Probably not too much more longer. If a company really wanted a talent, should it really matter? Well, if I was a business owner, it would matter to me. You know, if somebody's poaching my talent, I would kind of be a little upset about that. It would matter to me. Or then that would mean I would just need to keep them, especially if I got word or I got some type of tip that, you know, my talent was being poached. I would sit them down. Say, hey, listen, what's going on? You talking to somebody else? Doesn't mean they have to agree or expose, but still. I'm curious to see how this ban is going to affect wrestling moving forward. How soon are we going to see something related to this? How soon? If we do see it soon, of course, it's going to be WWE fighting, going to court, right, to fight this. Of course, their argument would be, you know, their talent has so much value. We have to try to delay this so that we can extend our negotiations, right? That's what I would say. Extend our negotiations. All right, they're on a non-compete clause. They're still getting paid. We're still paying them. Not getting paid with the same agreement within their contract, but they're still getting paid with the hopes that we continue or we try to extend our negotiation to keep them. Mr. Spade says TKO was purchased last month and the company is supposed to be private again. I'm not sure because they still have stock. You can still, people are still selling stock. Of course, Vince McMahon just sold his stock. Nick Khan just sold his stock. Nick Khan just sold all of his TKO stock. What does this signal, folks? Does this mean, since Vince sold his stock and Nick Khan sold his stock, does this mean that now, since they're legally able to start a wrestling promotion, will they? And this was reported a couple days ago, folks. Nick Khan has just sold all his stock. I don't believe they can be a private company if they have public, if they sell stock on Wall Street. See, Henry. Random questions. Do you feel if pro wrestlers, sports entertainers should be a part of... man. It's tough questions. I don't know. I really don't know. I kind of feel like SAG is kind of like control of a lot of things. I think it kind of stunts and limits creativity. Kind of controls capitalism, if you will. And I don't want to get too political here, because of the algorithms and demonetization. Somebody might not like it and shut me down, and then we're not making but yeah, very good question, by the way. Something to think about. All right, folks. I think we're gonna call it a night. What you guys say? Sorry about there was a lot of technical difficulties tonight, but I'm gonna iron those out with respect to all of these scenes here. Again, let's try this again because this video is not working right, but let's see what happens. Yeah. Yeah, something's wrong with that. But again, there you have it, folks. If you look behind me for $4.99 for the month of May, you're going to receive the t-shirt behind me. You'll receive whatever t-shirt the t-shirt of the month is, $4.99. Members only live streams, loyalty badges, and some custom emojis. So if you're a member and you're in a chat, you will have a special specific icon to how long you've been a member. And then the custom emojis that are exclusive only to channel members. All right, and then if you look behind me, of course, pull up so you can see it. Bam. It's an awesome shirt. Tessa Blanchard, folks. Arguably one of the best to have ever done it. All right, folks, I'm your guy, Bobby Rassos. Please make sure you keep it locked. If you like this show, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. Tune in Sunday nights. Okay, till next time, take care of yourself and each other's. Love wrestling and be heard.